Hello, my friends, and I hope you're well and good. Welcome to another pick a card reading, and here I'll be looking at what is your secret superpower. Amazing, right? So I've chosen 3 cards from 3 different decks. This one is pile 1, which is the Sun from the Lither Tarot. Pile 2, I've chosen the Star from the White Fly Tarot. And pile 3, I've chosen Justice from the Broken Mirror Tarot. So you can pause the video and take some time to decide. But pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, what is your secret superpower? Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Sun card here from the Lither Tarot. And first off, right, you have something about harnessing. There's something about you harnessing energy. You're able to encapsulate energy, and you're able to make it something that invokes like a lot of happiness for others. Yeah, a really beautiful energy. But you're also, what's really interesting is that we have Bastet here, and she is a goddess of power. A goddess of manifestation, a goddess of abundance, of joy, but mainly power, really. So there's something very strong about you in the respect, I don't know, you may have like strong Leo energy. I mean, that's synonymous with the Sun, but I do get a real sense of like the cat-like energy. You may also be a cat person as well. And there's just something very illuminating about you like to strive for the light and the goodness, probably always seeing the best in people, and sometimes getting yourself in a little bit of a tizzy and a tangle, but you kind of enjoy that because it's like a bit of a challenge. You're very sensual, you're very sexual. I feel like there's some very strong, I mean, just because I say the word sexual doesn't mean that it's like, yeah, it manifests as energy. Usually if you are a healer, a strong healer, a great healer, a powerful healer, you have strong sexual energy. So there's definitely that essence about you. And there's also something just about the lightness and the joy of life, particularly with the sunflowers as well. You really love the sun. You might love hot countries. You might like heat. And all thrive when it's summer. So yeah, and there's also, it seems like there's a flower in the cat's head, like just behind the ear as well. So there's just a real beauty about this. Also gold is very nice. And it just seems to resonate with you. So I feel like there may be even something quite royal about you, like the way you kind of move around, your grace. It also encapsulates people, causes people to really look up to you, and also value the way that you value things. So you're very inspiring, pile 1. Wow, that's amazing. I love that. I don't know, I really think that people think you're sexy as hell. They really do. They think you're gorgeous. And you brighten up a room whenever you go into the room, like, when you're happy, right? So when you're kind of like looking up and happy, and you are full of joy and you're in a good mood, you really do. It's infectious. It's infectious. And there's also a sense of you, like, you probably, I don't know, have a good relationship with children. I don't get a strictly maternal vibe here, but what I'm getting is that you like to play with kids. You like to remember your childhood through kids. Or you like that childhood energy, like you remember that and you cherish that energy. Beautiful. Beautiful, pile 1. Cracking start. Okay, let's see how far I can put that up. So I'm just going to pop that there. And let's have a look at your astrology. So you got 3 cards. Lucky you. Wow. Look at that. Okay, so you got sextile, which is integration, cooperation, tools, skills, ingenuity, harmony, and empathy. We'll have a look at your sextile. What planets are there? And then you've got your opposition, which is complementarity, dependence, differentiation, objectivity, oscillation, and interaction. Already I can see that the 2 planets that we'll look at for there are going to be something that's going to, like, kind of, I don't know, I got a real superhero vibe from this question. So I'm just thinking about, like, how we kind of, how the opposition of something can actually be very much in your power. Interesting. And then we've got the lunar eclipse, and then releasing the past, breakthrough, pushing limitations, and healing, and it was reversed. So, and just like with all things, we all have our shadow side. So I was thinking, I didn't know if I wanted to read the shadow side actually, but I think I do. So yeah. And then we've got some goddess energy for you. Morgan Le Fay, divination, witchcraft, and magic. Okay, pile 1. Interesting. And then we've got the heart chakra. Frequency of the heart chakra, flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties and harmonize the mind and body, but it was reversed. And I think I already know what that is. And then we've got mirror, treat your body like the palace it is. Okay, right. So let me just see that that's all in frame. Thank you. Right, okay, so, wow. Part 1 already, you are a force to be reckoned with. Even though I said the sun, right, do recognize it is Bastet. So, like, she's quite a powerful character, even though it's the sun. And it's really interesting how we do have this character of Bastet representing the sun. So, but Bastet is a very kind of like underground character in a way. Like, she goes really well with Morgan Le Fay. So you've got that idea of something that is unconventional, something that is not seen as, you know, you may not be seen as somebody who is quite as, loving, giving, approachable. But actually you really are. I get the feeling that you know things, you just know stuff. Like, you have your psychic, you have your intuition, you know your intuition, basically. You understand your intuition. I'm not sure at what level you're at, because this heart chakra is reversed. And with that heart chakra reversed, that's just telling me that there's still a bit of development that's needed, but you are at the goddess level. It's just like how mature is it? Because I'm thinking, like, with the heart chakra reversed, it's almost like this was a precursor to the pain. The pain of this heart chakra is almost like the precursor to your strength. That's what I meant to say. So, like, the strength of your power. So I also saw here is that you're able to give people so much, but when it comes to yourself, you're a little bit, you're not as giving. So I don't know, take that as you will, but that's the kind of thing I was seeing. And particularly with this sextile as well, and sextile and the opposition, more so the opposition. So let's have a look at what planets are in this sextile. We've got Pluto and Mercury. So there's something about the kind of generation that you're born into, and about how you communicate with others, because that actually promotes your power. You're really you're really good at doing that. You may be really good on social media. You might be very good at communicating with people of your generation. You might be like somebody who has a lot of friends, you know, a lot of people that you speak to, and when you do speak to them, you have that energy of the sun that you really help them to feel high. You help them to feel good about themselves. But there's just something about you. Like, I don't feel like you do that to yourself. So, and that's part of the kind of shadow of the superpower, I think. And here, treat your body like the palace it is. Like, I think there's some kind of, maybe you look at yourself and you don't see the beauty that's happening within yourself, but then with everyone else, you kind of see that. And then that's what everybody's seeing in you. And they feel like you empower them totally. But when you really believe in yourself, you are a bombshell, I think. Because, I mean, look at this Morgan Le Fay, and also look at these three characters that we can actually see. They're just like really, you know, they're like, yes. So they got it going on. So I think there's something really powerful here. And Morgan Le Fay is very powerful. She was Arthur's sister. So Arthur as in King Arthur. So there's something, but she was misunderstood. She wasn't seen as she should have been. So there's some kind of like knowledge that you have, and there is a knowledge. You do have knowledge of nature, of witchcraft, maybe. You may have some kind of connection to that, to ancient Celtic magic or something like that. There is something there. Particularly with I definitely think with witchcraft, with Bastet there as well. So there's something about you being able to harness that power of, like, I don't know, I just feel a bit of glamour magic going on. Like, you're able to entrance people, I feel. You're able to, like, make people almost fall in love with you. But the thing is that if you're not in love with yourself, then what are you going to do about that? That's interesting. Interesting shadow to that superpower. But you're very magnetic, Pile 1. Let's see what these oppositions are about. Mars. And Jupiter. Okay. Mars and Jupiter. So sometimes you're your own worst enemy. But also, like, in the respect of you kind of, you know, you kind of, there's a sense of self-sabotage, which is really interesting. But also, you know, I think that conflict, it makes you so strong. I just see it as, you know, and you do like tend to eclipse yourself. Instead of nourishing yourself, you go and nourish other people. I really get that quite a lot here. And there's almost a sense of you not believing that good things can happen to you, but you can motivate others for good things to happen to them. So I think, you know, you've got this incredible power to empower other people. And yeah, there's something about you being able to put that into yourself, which is going to be really nice. If you can grow into that, which I'm sure you can, you know. This is all about the development of the superpower, right? So, and that's what, you know, how you develop the heart chakra. So let's see what the tarot has to say about this. Your secret superpower. Your secret superpower, Pile 1. I feel so happy talking about you. This is just so nice. God, you're fantastic, Pile 1. All of my people who come and watch my videos are fantastic. But I mean, I just want to tell you that you're fantastic, Pile 1. And you're magical. And you're entrancing and you're beautiful. I like it. Can I be your friend? And can I be your, like, pep talk? Can I remind you of how incredible you are and mirror that back to you? Is that all right? Okay. Secret superpower for Pile 1. Secret superpower for Pile 1. Okay, we've got the 5 of Swords reversed. We've got the 2 of Wands reversed. We've got the Knight of Swords reversed. We've got the Queen of Swords reversed. Yeah. We've got the Knight of Wands Knight of Wands upright, and then we've got the Tower. Okay. And then we've got the Page of Swords reversed, and then we've got, okay, right. Hold on one sec, I'm just going to have to adjust. I got a bit excited with the cards, pile one, sorry. Like, I want more cards. I want to tell a story for my beautiful pile one. Page of Swords. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. I really don't think that you believe that you have any kind of superpower. I don't think you really understand how gorgeous you are, pile one. You're fabulous. You're utterly fabulous. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of... No, you don't. You don't believe it. You don't believe it. You go through swathes. Sometimes you believe it, sometimes you don't. I understand that that's pretty general, okay? But I'm just saying, like... But you're a fighter. You refuse to, like, believe that people are going to get the upper hand on you. You choose not to let people get away with stuff. And you stand your ground. People don't mess with you, yeah? They're a little bit like, I better not, you know, go near there and touch that, because, and it can be intimidating. But I really do feel like you compromise yourself to help other people. Not to say that you shouldn't do, and I think it's very, you know, it's very noble of you to do this, but I think that sometimes you don't go for yourself. Same here, like you compromise yourself in your own kind of space for yourself. But the thing is that you're so direct, and I feel like with other people you are able to, like, manage other people like you wouldn't believe. Like, you're able to help them really well. And not only that, you speak from experience. You speak from experience, and you know when you need to take action. Just not so much with yourself. It's really interesting. But you're realizing this. You're going through a process of understanding this about yourself. And you're always there, really, to support others when they're going through that. You know, you're there to kind of help them. Maybe in not the kind of, like, softest way, but you are there. You're very loyal. You're very loyal. You do come to the rescue. We've got air and fire here. So you do kind of, you know, you make sure that you're there, I think. You know, you're committed. I feel like there's a committed energy here, particularly with the Two of Pentacles. But you don't get too involved. You kind of, you know, if people aren't going to really recognize their, you know, what they're doing, you're not going to stay there and dim your light. If they're not recognizing, you know, their kind of faults and whatnot, you kind of know when to leave. You're not going to stick around. Like, you do, but you do, like, it's kind of maybe love from afar a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, so maybe first of all, like, say, for example, one of your friends breaks up with a guy that you've been warning her about for, like, ages, and then she finally breaks up with him, and then she's, like, devastated. You come in and you, like, help her, like, you know, and then, you know, you're kind of attending to that. But then if she goes back to him or goes back to the partner, then maybe you'll be like, you know what? I'm just going to stand back here. I'll love you from afar, but I'm not going to get involved again really too much. And, you know, there's a bit of a guilt complex as well, because sometimes you may want to kind of help people. I wouldn't be surprised if sometimes, if people don't listen to your advice, then sometimes, or what you're saying, then it may hurt you. You may take it personally. And I wouldn't, you know, there's no need to take it personally. It's just, and that's how I feel with that heart chakra reversed. I feel like, you know, just it's them, it's not you, you know. So let's see. Okay, your spiritual superpower. Sorry, your superpower, your secret superpower. Could be spiritual. Your secret superpower. Your secret superpower, pile one. Your secret superpower, pile one. How was that? Oh God. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Wands. Your secret superpower. The Swan, that's the High Priestess. The Knight of Swords, soulmates. I got that, you know. I don't know if you think that I think you may be wanting to... Oh, you got an extra card. The Three of Lotuses. So, let's look at the other cards first. The Peacock. The Eight of Trees, which is the Eight of Pentacles. The Four of Lotuses. The Four of Cups. The Three of Lotuses, which is the Page of Swords. Sorry, not the Page of Swords. What am I talking about? I'm looking at the Page of Swords and then I'm putting it down as the Three of Cups. And one more. No, just one. No, just one. Wow, 2, 3, 4. So we've got the High Priestess, the Emperor, the Empress and the Emperor. Wow. But in this deck, it's a little bit different. So early stages of the Major Arcana as well, I might say, because we've also got 6. So you've got like quite a few Major Arcanas here. You don't have any Major Arcanas, I don't think, on these ones, I think, which is interesting. Okay, right. So first of all, the Eight of Embers, the Eight of Wands. Yeah, you don't mess around. Like, I don't think you don't stand for any kind of defeatist attitude. You kind of just go on, and I think that's the beauty of your superpower. Like, you can just pick yourself up quite quickly. You can recover quite quickly because you have a really good sense of detachment. You're able to detach away from an emotional situation. This Two of Wands, in terms of committing to other people more than you commit to yourself. This is, again, the High Priestess. It's this sense of detachment. But it's also, with this particular card, it's connecting the conscious with the unconscious self. So what that means is that there's something that you're not connecting to. And because you've put so much effort into your kind of conscious reality and also soothing the subconscious level and maybe the divine female or just the emotional side of others and people that are outside of yourself, that there's a kind of neglect that's going on with your own self. It's not reversed. So, I mean, you know, I feel like you're aware of this. I feel like you're in the process of this. And I don't know if your spiritual work is taking you in that direction. So it seems that way. And then you've also got soulmates with the Knight of Swords. So, I mean, you know, I don't know if you are in a relationship or like you're kind of, you know, if you've been broken up from a relationship. But, you know, I feel you may be healing. And that healing kind of comes here with this swan energy as well. You're in this kind of, I wouldn't say hermit energy. It's more High Priestess energy. You're doing you. You're doing you. And it's so interesting with this Queen of Swords energy. It's like maybe in this time in the life, I mean, this reading is timeless, but in the time of your life when you're watching this reading, you're empowering yourself, but you're doing it in a very Queen of Swords way. So you're doing it in a way that's very, it is compassionate, but it's based on experience. So it's not being hardened by experience, but it's almost like the experience is something that leads you. And that is what helps you to like walk through the door of this peacock, an Empress energy, because you know that the kind of like pain of the past you have to work through. You know the work, basically. You understand the path. You understand about taking your experiences and weaving them into something beautiful. You understand that, Par One. So in respect to the question that I was asking about your kind of spiritual maturity in the respect of this power, I think you're definitely like, you know, you're definitely doing stuff that's pretty advanced in that respect. So when I say that, I'm talking about somebody that actually recognizes their emotions, knows how to do the work, knows how to look at their emotions, knows how to look at how it affects their thoughts, their feelings, their actions, their manifestations of their reality. You get it. So you've also got the Knight of Wands here as well. So the Knight of Wands is clarified by the Eight of Trees. So I mean, what an incredible energy to be clarifying that Knight of Wands. So even though you go in there and you go in there fast because of the past experience, you know how to do it in a structured manner. But there is also a sense that there may be like a benefit for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you do go into a situation, there may be something in it for you, which is the reason why you go into it. So, I mean, you know, every superpower has a shadow side. It's not like, you know, all roses and rainbows and chocolates and unicorns. It's, you know, this is the shadow of it. So it's okay, you know. And, you know, when I was doing my neuro-linguistic programming training, when I was doing NLP training and training to be a coach, you know, we understood that these powers that we have are very, you know, they can be used for manipulation. They can be used for that. And every interaction that we have is a manipulation. It's just something that we ourselves agree upon. So, for example, if I'm going to talk to someone and I want them and they're going to ask me to do something and I do it for them, that means that I'm agreeing to them. If you want to look at it at a very basic level, it could be seen as a manipulation. I know that that's controversial. And please do, like, if you want to talk to me about it in the comments, please do. It's, I think, but it's just a discussion. It's just an opinion. But we saw that in my training and I just thought that is really interesting. Everything can be seen as a manipulation, but on an agreed manipulation, you know, some are not agreed. And then that's when it gets messy. So, yeah. Now, the Four of Lotuses, with the Tower here as well, and the Four of Lotuses, I think it's really interesting because you, with the Tower, it's like you fully are understanding what is the kind of, what is the emotional aspect of this and of situations that you just embrace. Like, it's almost like you don't shy away from from the challenges, from the emotional challenges. You go for it, which is fantastic, Pile 1. Fantastic. So this is amazing. I'm really enjoying this. And then you've got the Three of Cups. So with the Page of Swords, when I was saying before, like, you don't like to get deeply involved within a situation with someone that doesn't want to improve themselves, but you are willing to be their friend and you are willing to support them with, you know, something quite light, and also celebrating the good things in their life. So you like to make people remember the good things about themselves. So, you know, it isn't just about this one thing that's your spiritual superpower. I'm taking out all of the attributes of you that combine together to form the spiritual superpower that only you have, or the superpower, the secret superpower that you might have. And you don't really tell people about this because, oh, you might not even know yourself. But it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. You deeply empower people, deeply, and you strive people to change. You really do, in a way that you don't even see. And I think you provide more of an example than anything else. And the Pelican here is about you consistently confronting your own shadow. I don't know, Part 1. It seems like you do shadow work and you do it really well. And you know, you're really good at it. So yeah, you're amazing, Part 1. Amazing, particularly with the fact that we've got Morgan Le Fay here and she's dark. You've got the sun here and it's Bastet. That tells me you're at a particular level. Yeah, you really are. Okay, right. So we've got some more oracle cards. I got an angel for you, Ariel. Nice. So with Ariel, I'll give that a quick read. I'll just have a look. Ariel, from what I remember, is the nature kind of angel, but obviously much more deeper than that. So it's the strength of the heart. You look out for the underdog. Yeah. The head of the nature angel, so I was right. Yeah, the fairies and elementals. So this is why, like, the connection with Morgan Le Fay is interesting. So it's definitely connections with nature. And then you've also got the animals here. The lioness of God, Ariel is known as. Of course she is. I have courage and faith in yourself and your beliefs. I will help you stand up for yourself and defend anyone who needs your strength of heart. So you're a real kind of champion of the underdog, pile 1. Amazing. Love it. Okay, and then we've got these 2 cards, which is I'm trustful in my relationship. So people can rely on you. People can really rely on you, which is what I said earlier. And I achieve with integrity. I do remember that this card came up reversed. So that may be a little bit of a challenge from, now and again. But I think that's what you strive for. And I think that's important, You provide the mirror for people, how people are. So I think it's really important that you exude what you want to see. Okay? Do it. And then, I don't know, I feel like I might be overwhelming you, but hey, forget it. You've got here a question, amazing question. It's a question because whenever I thought of superheroes, it's always like with great power comes great responsibility, a la Spider-Man. So I just thought, for you to ask yourself a question about yourself, and we've got Perseus here, which is really interesting. So here it says, given the chance to gaze into the void, wouldn't you? I love that, and I think it's so synonymous with the Morgan Le Fay and also Bastet here. It's so that sensual sexuality. It's just great. Love that pile. Pile 1. Okay, right. So you've got this card. Okay, and then we've got accepting challenges. So trust your inner resources. So I'm going to read a little bit from the book. Oh, I don't know why I'm looking at T and it's A, because I love it when books actually list it alphabetically. It just saves our lives. Okay, right. So it's trusting your inner resources. Rise above time and space, past the world and be yourself, your own world. And that's Shabastari. So every time we face difficulty in life, it presents us with an opportunity to turn inwards and invoke our inner resources. For pure love does not seek self-satisfaction. Nothing is impossible. In fact, we develop strength and we endure difficult conditions. We feel the exhilaration of victory as we accept challenges by engaging our inner resources to overcome them. So if you feel that you're facing situations that are critical to your success, but you feel powerless to perform, it may be because you feel that the challenges are beyond your abilities. So, and it says here about the divine pearl being within you to transform it into a pearl. So, I mean, what I get from this is that you see the challenges that other people face, and as I said, I just feel like you cheer them on, and you're able to help them to get to a point where they need to get to, or that you really encourage them and you really help them. The thing is that when you do that for yourself, that's the biggest challenge of all. And I really believe that you have that resource. I don't know, if you do that for other people, and then you might find that you're wishing that somebody did that for you. I think there's your answer. You need to do it for yourself. And that's your superpower, Pile 1. You are a champion of the underdog. And that, I feel like the main message here is that's what you need. That's what I wanted to do with these readings. I wanted to bring out the superpowers of people so that they'd understand that they could use that for themselves as well. So, and I think that this is the case here, Pile 1. Beautiful, beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. If you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate your subscription. Definitely give me some support. Hit the bell icon if you haven't done already, and then you'll get notified of when I upload. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the star from the White Fly Tarot, and wow, you look like some powerful beings. You like to kind of... There's a deeply spiritual aspect to you in the respect of you, I think maybe either meditative or, you know, working with some kind of esoteric arts, or even your spirituality is very strong within you, I feel. I feel like it's a very heart-centered approach. There is a very... I didn't even think of this, okay, I promise, right? But there is a very Aquarian energy to you. This is very Aquarius. This card, the star is Aquarius, but just from what I see, there's a very individuated energy here that that you can see is working on behalf of the collective, but is almost like they have this divine spark, which is what they transmute into. They transmute into other kind of energy, which is really interesting, or energy that is going to help the world as a collective. And I'm seeing like blue flecks around me now, like blue flashes of light as well. So there's almost like an angelic quality to you. So there may be like some star child energy, definitely from another planet. Your ideas may be very divinely guided. You may be like artists, visionaries, people who are able to really promote hopeful ideas to other people. You may be like thought leaders. You may be people that are just, you know, you're the ones who in groups, you motivate people to change. You motivate people to think differently. You're the ones who quietly ask questions and rethink things. You may not do it very overtly. You do it on a kind of like undercurrent of where it's like, but what about this? And let's look at this. Have we considered this? Have we looked at these other options? And you look at things that maybe other people don't even think about. Like they don't even consider. You think outside the box, outside the galaxy, outside the, you know, you just think from another dimension, I feel. That's what you do, Pile 2. All I see is this divine flame, like this divine flame of guidance that is coming from the stars. And then we've got this like sense of water, but it's almost like a galaxy. And you have to be in your own space to get that. Like you have to be like centered and there in your spatial kind of awareness. Brilliant mind. And sometimes misunderstood as well. But hey, most brilliant people are. So let's see what your other cards have to say. Okay, so you've got I Transform, 8th house. I don't know if that was reversed or not. I'm going to read it upright, but I'm going to take it into account. The 8th house is also Pluto and it's Scorpio. This is the house of life's enigmas, transformation, where the hidden sexuality and death. This is where we can see someone else's property and money, real estate, inheritance and investments. We can also see our deepest unrevealed wishes as well as fears, occultism and esotericism. So with this kind of Aquarian energy, you're also like people... I wouldn't be surprised if you do some kind of, you know, spiritual work, occultist work, something like that. Okay, then you've also got White Tara, which is compassion, peace, healing, longevity. So you know how to manifest this into a space where you may be deeply Buddhist. I am getting like big meditation vibes, Pile 2. Like I feel like you do. Maybe you're like me, you meditate for an hour a day, 2 hours a day. Like, or a Vipassana meditator, I don't know. Or like a deep other type of meditator, maybe a Zen practitioner or something. And then we've also got Voyage. You already have all the answers. Well, that's so synonymous with this star card. Of course you do. And Transition. Wow, look at that. Can you see that? That's amazing. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence in our lives so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. You're a facilitator for change. Wow. Beautiful. Pile 2, you're like magical. I'm a bit nervous. And it's interesting how we have the white here. There's something very... Yeah, I wouldn't be... There's something a little bit spiritual leader-esque about you. Pile 2. That rhymed, didn't it? Okay. So you lead. You do lead, but you lead from behind. Do you know, like you lead, I don't know, your thought ideas, maybe other things that kind of help people to understand things about themselves. And you do it in a deep way. But just with that eighth house energy and you transform, I think there's something very unknown about you. So there could be some kind of delving into some dark kind of sides for you. But with everything else that I'm seeing, you almost transform it. And with this sense of transition as well, you help facilitate people to transition from the phase of where they think they are disempowered to where they are empowered. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Your spiritual secret, your secret superpower, your secret superpower. Pile 2, secret superpower, the Queen of Swords reversed. The Sun. 2 stars, wow. The Sun and the Emperor. Yeah. And the 5 of Cups reversed. I don't see you talking to yourself badly, pile 2, but I do see someone talking badly to you, and that encourages you to not be like that to other people. That's why you're like, no, I have to think differently. I have to think outside the box because I'm not going to think like this person who's this Queen of Swords. I have to think outside of this because there was a big sense of structure around your upbringing, I feel, or where you're, you know, how you learn in life. And you had to deal with a lot of disappointment. I wouldn't be surprised if like one parent like valued you more than the other. For some of you, right? Only take what resonates, discard the rest. But, you know, I don't know, I just see someone talking not very nicely to you, but I see someone else that really kind of resonates with you and wants to almost make you their protege. But then you've kind of taken this on in a different form and been able to balance both sides. So you know that not to be like with this Queen of Swords, but you also know that the kind of imposition of the Emperor, it needs to be, it's good stability. You understand good stability, but there's this something about the feminine. And there's a disability to be able to like take root. But in that ability, in that kind of like shadow, you actually are so okay with like starting again. Like you, it's really easy for you to like start again. It's really easy for you to like make new changes. You don't stick around for too long. You can build things very quickly. Seven of Wands. Yeah, people really look up to you. They really look up to you, pile 2. They see you as a really strong, formidable force. They see you as a super intelligent, like powerful force of nature. Somebody who they would consult. Somebody who has a lot of experience. And so, not so much somebody who has a lot of experience, sorry, somebody who has a lot of expertise, who understands the program, who understands the game, understands the, has really good ideas. But I don't think with this 5 of Cups reversed and then this 10 of Cups reversed, you really believe that you're a lone wolf. Like I don't know if you really believe that you can, I don't know, in terms of relationships, I'm not sure. I don't know if you believe that you're your own emperor. King of Cups. There's a lot of masculine energy here. There's not much female energy here. And we'll figure that out in a minute. But yeah, you really know how to direct, drive. You've got a brilliant mind, like a diamond, pile 2. You really have. And you're very calm and compassionate. And you're able to help people see that their own ideas are valid. You help people to not sabotage themselves, but you do that in a way that by you being the example, I don't see you going out and helping people and being like a charitable cause and going and doing lots of things. You may do things to do charity. I'm not saying that you don't, but I don't see you as much as like people that are like going out and specifically helping people. You lead by example. You don't lead by, you're not an intentional leader either. You're just somebody that does their stuff and it's like, wow, people are just like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I want to be like that. And you help people move out their comfort zone by moving out of that space of like comfort, because you know that in that space of comfort, it just, you don't grow. But I don't know, I really feel like there was some caregiver on the paternal side that gave you the stability that you needed to kind of like springboard off of, but there was something, the maternal side wasn't that great. And I'm really sorry about that. But this is part of, like, it's almost like, the superhero, I'm thinking this is like superhero because it's the superpower. So, it's that sense of like, I will fully look at the shadow side that has caused your superpower to come forward. And then that's it, That's why you've always had to be the warrior. And it's interesting how we've got 2 7s here. The 7th house. No, sorry, 8th house. We've got number 7 here. We've got number 7 here. So, and the star is 17 anyway, but that's 8. 8th house, 10 with white Tara. So, but we do have 2 7s here. And we have a lot of fire energy here. We've got the Emperor, we've got the Sun, we've got Mars here, we've got Mars as well here, and we've got Mars there. So there's a lot of fire here that you're tempering. To like combat this Queen of Swords energy, which is like pure ice. It's almost like an overcompensation, But you're very quiet about it. I don't see you being very vocal about it. You don't tell a lot of people about it. You're very, I feel like you're private. You're very private, pile 2. So let's see what else can be revealed about your superpower, about your secret superpower. This is very secret. You don't tell people. This is why you lead by example, pile 2. Your secret superpower. Your secret superpower. No! I did it the wrong way. Thank God I caught it. Your secret superpower, pile 2. Secret superpower. What's pile 2's secret superpower? The Shore, which is the Tower. Interesting. And that's clarifying the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Romantic, which is the Page of Cups reversed. I don't know, there's something going on with you and love, pile 2. There's something like, I don't know if you accept love. And you're going through it, like you're, you know, this is part of your kind of realizing of your superpower. You may be deeply spiritual, or there may be a very strong spiritual aspect to you. I don't think it's something that you're like practicing consistently. You may be, I may be wrong. But I don't know. I just get a feeling that it's something that it's like, you know, you're just born with it. Whereas some people have to cultivate it. And it's so innate in your own being that you just kind of, it's just you. It's just who you are. Whereas some people, you know, like me, I've never felt like I've been like one of those kind of people who it just exudes from. And you seem to be one of those people that just kind of oozes out of their pores, that they have this kind of sense of spirituality. But then when it comes to love, there's a real sense of detachment that's going on here. And I think that's because of the lack of female and water energy that you have. So in this reading, right? Not generally. Or that's showing up here. So I don't know. I think there's something where you feel like there's a sense of being wronged. I don't know, Pile 2. Like, something might have happened in the womb to you. I remember I was doing a paper, or no, it was actually a presentation. I think it was this time last year or a little bit earlier than that. And we were discussing about the stages of when a baby is being born, how a baby is born affects its life forever. You can read it if you want, go and research it if you're interested. It's the work of Stanislav Grof. That tells you about the trauma that, you know, those 4 stages of you being born, how they're very, very important. So that whole 9 months of gestation in the womb is exceptionally important to our personalities and also who we are. So maybe that might be something to look at with that Sun card. Because I don't know, like, even just, you know, there's studies that have been done with people that if people, like, just if you play music to the baby in the womb, they can recognize that music when they come out of the womb. So so if there was some kind of like talking that was going on, which what I'm seeing here is that I'm seeing that there may not have been, like, the relationship with the mother may not have been the greatest, but with the father it was good. And also because we have this crown here as well. So it's almost like, you know, that there might have been, like, maybe, you know, the paternal side was really happy about this, but then the maternal side wasn't, you know. And I understand that. I know a lot of people that have been in those situations. So particularly because mothers having to go through, you know, motherhood for the first time, it's a very difficult time. So it can, like, kick up all sorts of shadows and stuff, you know, about having a baby. So that's probably why the the Page of Cups is here, because it may have been like this idea. I think it's the Page, or is it the Knight? It might be the idea of, like, something that was very beautiful, but then it's the Knight of Cups. Yeah, then that makes even more sense. So if it's the Knight of Cups reversed, it's almost like, you know, the idea of thinking that having a baby, or, you know, this amazing thing of bringing into the world, and then, you know, that whole thing with, I don't know if it's not PTSD, I don't know what it's called, but it's that kind of trauma that mothers face when they, you know, when they have that postnatal or prenatal kind of depression trauma. There may be something like that going on here, but that's very specific. Okay, so let's see about this Emperor. 7 of Swords, 7 of Wands reversed. So what I get from that is that almost combined that this was a kind of like disallowing of energy, but it still came out. It's still come out in the Star. which is interesting. We go from the sun to the star, so it's almost like a smaller version of it, and that's why you've kind of like kept it hidden so that you channel it in a way, which is probably why it's not so out in the open. And not so, and I'm, you know, you may be like a kind of entrepreneur that is out in the open. You may be a little bit like that, but then there may be something else that's underneath the surface where you've got this Queen of Swords energy, which is kind of stopping you from truly, you know, coming out and believing in yourself. I just get a really demure vibe from this white Tara energy and from the star. It's like something that's very, like, it's not outlandish. It's very, like, as I said, you lead by example. And what an example it is. You're brilliant. You're like this brilliant bright star where I'm just like, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to be like that. That's what it is. When people look at you, they're like, oh my God, I want to be just like that. that's what people, when they look at you, they think that. You've got the Three of Pentacles. You really are able to work with people and collaborate with people, inspire people to form ideas and build things from nothing. And that may be what happened with you. Death reversed. Well, this is not death. This is the Fool reversed and the Seven of Pentacles. You're not careless with anything. And it's interesting how we've got that. Oh, that's really cool. Can you see that? We've got this little tiny flame here, and then we've got this flame here. So it's almost like you keep this flame very sacred, this fire very sacred. You know how to harness it without putting it out, because you know the danger. You know what can happen when you've got negative kind of mind forms in your head that cause you like to for this beautiful flame to go out. So you know how to make sure that you don't, that doesn't go out for you, which is why you're able to do this Seven of Pentacles again and again, you know. Wow, yeah, your detachment ability is off the charts, pile 2. You're very, very good at being able to detach and not be caught up in the kind of the papancha, they call it. I heard Tara Brach call it, and basically it's like the mindless chitter chatter that kind of like plagues our day and also causes us to think things, and you know, the attachments and the ignorance and the cravings that we have. You're very good at like not doing that. And I don't know if you were taught that. You might be taught that by a male figure as well. But there is something about here, like, I don't know if your idea of the detachment means that you don't think that you can be happy. You may even, I don't know, maybe even some of you are thinking about a life of celibacy. I don't know. Or like that you don't want not that you don't want a family, but like, you know, that whole kind of thing with the family is just not you. Doesn't mean that that's a bad thing, but I don't know. Just question where it comes from. Is it really because you think that, or is it because you don't think that, or is it because you think that you can't get it? Wow, past lives. That is the Death card. That's 13. Interesting. Interesting. So you are transforming from this one here to here, from the shore, from the tower to past lives. You're transforming and you're starting to learn things about yourself through your superpower. But it's very, very covert. Very covert. You don't tell anyone about this, I don't think you really, you know, and it's a very secret thing. Very, very secret thing. Okay, so let's have a look at wrong cards. Let's have a look at your oracle cards. So I got you an angel card, which is the Twin Iron, number 35. So that's number 8. Let me just have a look at the angel book so that we can have a look at that. 35. So the truth. So you strive for the truth. I mean, totally. The mighty Iron are a pair of great twin angels who are said to reside in the sixth heaven. The Iron constitute the highest council of judgment and heavenly courts. So it's truth. You strive for truth. You strive for the truth in things, which is why people, and you're like, the truth, I just have to stick to my own truth. I just have to be my own truth. I have to be who I have to be, and I'm just going to shine in that respect. I'm not going to be anything else beyond myself. And that's how you kind of strive forward, particularly with that Voyage card as well. You already have all the answers. You trust yourself implicitly, because I've got a feeling that you felt that you couldn't, that somebody, you know, I feel like somebody told you yes and somebody said no. And then you thank God that the energy that told you that you couldn't was stronger than the energy that told you could. Sorry, the energy that told you that you couldn't was not as strong as the energy that told you that you could. And there's still some like patterning there. There's still some like trauma that's going on there, so that you'll work out through that. So, you know, you're doing that. But yeah, you deeply inspire people, Pile 2. Wow, see? You spread joy. It's the freedom. You just really like exude this sense of freedom, and people are like, whoa, I want a piece of that. I want that in my life. I want to be that. That is so cool. That's who I want. Okay, right. So I picked 2 cards for you, because these cards are about like questions. And as I said to Pile 1, you know, with this reading, I felt like that thing where you say, where in Spider-Man it says like, with great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility. And I just thought, you know, there's always like a question to ask the superhero. So you got 2 questions because you're fabulous. So we got Sagittarius. What will you create that expands you? God, I think that's your eternal thing. What will you create that expands you? Amazing. And then we've got what will bloom from your ashes. Wow, the Phoenix and Sagittarius. Incredible cards. Love that. Love that. Pile 2. I almost said Pile 1, sorry. Okay, so your last card that we've got here is deal with the unexpected. Treat the unforeseen as a divine offering. Wow. Okay. And I think you do. I think you do. But I think that's the whole thing with this reading. I think this is what you do. You are able to deal with the unexpected really well. And that's like your superpower. So let's have a look what it says. I won't read the whole thing. I'll just read a little bit of it because it's just long. But it always has like a beautiful poem. Treat the unforeseen as a divine offering. O sudden restriction, O boundless providence, you appear into flames to burn the jungle of thoughts. You come blissfully to free us from the shackles. You appear as the destitute, to the destitute as divine providence. Rumi. So when stuff is thrown into like disarray, when you're deeply involved with something, see it as a gift. And you do. I think that's what you do. You're able to overcome obstacles really well. It says here, take the unexpected as a call to be the master of your own fate. I think that's what you do. I think that's your superpower, Pile 2. God, that rhymed again. I remain calm and control of myself when the unexpected occurs. I know that dealing with the unforeseen is a bliss offered to me as divine providence. That's what you do. I think this is what you teach other people. You teach other people to deal with the unexpected, to do this for other people. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And you help people to move on with integrity and purpose. Wow, Pile 2, I love it. I love it. You are incredible people. I'm so honoured to have read for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I liked it. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And hit the bell icon, because then you'll know when I upload. And also comment. I'd love to hear your stories if you wish to share. And also, if you'd like to get a private reading with me, my details are in the description box. But otherwise, my darlings, all the best with your superpowers. You are fabulous. And I shall see you in your next reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. You chose this Justice card from the Broken Mirror Tarot. And there's something about you that's very angelic, and also this sense of a fighting for justice, a fighting for a sense of righteousness. There is a very Queen of Swords energy where you take the experience and also your past knowledge to be able to kind of invest in people to help set people on the right path. I wouldn't be surprised if people find you quite challenging in the respect of they feel that, you know, who are you? What authority do you have in terms of like putting things across? But you do it in a way that really would make others quite scared, actually, I feel. It's almost like you can build this kind of wall of safety, which I can see with these wings. But other people would be quite scared to do that. I think you go where angels fear to tread, but you are the angel that leads the way. That's how I feel. I feel like a very strong superpower. Pile 3. And you see, like, this Justice, her eyes are open. So you can see what's going on. I wouldn't be surprised if you work in the political arena, or something where you're working for a charity, something where you're finding the ability to be able to fight for others or for people who don't have a voice. You're able to do the things that most people wouldn't do. Pile 3. You go into the depths, you go into the flames, you are the light. I saw that as I was looking at this card. I've never really seen this light, this lighthouse here, and you are that light. And you blast out the storm. You show people a way forward. Wow. Pile 3. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, right, so let's have a look at your oracle cards. So we've got, actually I looked at the wrong one first. So we've got the full moon reversed. Interesting. So it's energy peak, harvest, blessings, achievement, and it's reversed. So you may be somebody who fights for the people that don't have as good opportunities as others do have. And then the next card is emergent. No, actually, I'll do this one first. St. Lucy. Yeah, you fight for the oppressed, for sure. Wow. Pile 3. Wow. Your superpower is the ability to do things that people would be so scared that they would crumble. Emergence 25. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. So, you know, you really don't mince words. You don't mince yourself. You just go for it, regardless of what is around you. You don't succumb to any kind of pressure. You fight for justice. And storm, every hurricane comes to an end. And what's really interesting I see from this card is that, like, she's got a crown on and she's got this coat, but she's got her feet barefoot and she's got this kind of like poor dress. So I really do feel like you may have emerged from a state where you could have been in the same place as some people. I may go as far to say is like you might have suffered from something, some sort of traumatic event. There may be something like in the respect of, I don't know, you may have belonged to some kind of cult or group or something like that. And then that might have, you know, you might have like escaped that or something, or there may have been some kind of major trauma or something that you overcame. And now you are able to help people fight through that. Or you may have had some experience with that. But obviously that's only for some of you. So yeah, interesting, really interesting. There's a really strong energy about you. Like you really know what you want. You're really decisive. And also you're just about helping people. You really do. You really, really do help people. That full moon reversed tells me that you help people see the true potential of themselves. All of the piles did that anyway to some extent, but in this respect you do it with a sense of righteousness, with a sense of justice. Like you do it in a way that people who never thought that they could feel like that, again, you help them to realize that. You help them to realize that they can also become the full moon. So like it's like that, the full moon is a natural transition. And yeah, you help them to realize their full potential in that respect. But you also do it, like you may even help children. But yeah, there's a very charitable, very the energy that I get is that you help people that are significantly less fortunate than yourself. There's a real charitable aspect to you, and that sense of giving and charity is something that's very, very rare. So it's a type of energy that only people who are in the caring forces, like they do, like the nurses, social workers, people like that. Because it's like, I mean, being a nurse is something that's so incredible. I really don't know how people can do that. You may not be a nurse, but I'm just saying that that's the kind of like energy. It's that kind of selflessness, that caring for others that I get from you, pile 1. Superpower. Pile 1, secret superpower. Pile 1, secret superpower. The 6 of coins. The 8 of cups reversed. 6 of coins reversed. 8 of cups reversed. The king of cups reversed. The 6 of swords reversed. The devil reversed. And the 4 of cups. Interesting. Very interesting. One more. Thank you. And the Knight of Swords. Wow. Okay. So you fight, you absolutely fight for a sense of injustice, like you are, and bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. So yeah, you fight for a sense of, like you do not, injustice is not your, you fight for equality. You want equality wherever you are. You want it to happen. You want, it's something that's very, very important to you, in all aspects. Any kind of, you strive for equality everywhere. And you won't rest until you feel that, until you sense that. It's come from a place where you know that people who in authority who should have had that sense of stability, they didn't have that. And I think that's your backstory. And also when you see that as well, it's quite triggering. So you are adamant that you want to try and provide that sense of emotional security for others. And there's definitely a big sense of like, you not being able to rest until you can see that happening around you. You're kind of understanding that you can't boil the earth, as someone I know says, or Rome wasn't built in a day. You know that you can't solve every single problem, and there may have been like a kind of need to do that, because, and I found out what that was actually, when people do that, when the people are trying to solve a problem that maybe is kind of because of their own trauma, and it's called reliving the trauma in psychological terms. So if you're trying, if you're trying to heal people rather than healing yourself, or not even healing yourself, but if there's if it's almost like an empty hole where you're trying to like, you're trying to heal yourself through trying to help others, and it's like obsessive. I think you've been through that, and you understand like that you can't do that. So you've got like a certain level of where you know when enough is enough, but there is still some work to do here in that respect. So you may do like a lot of work, and I think that there is also a sense of you doing a lot and keeping busy to kind of keep yourself like, and you do a lot. Like you do a lot. You're very, very busy people. I feel like you do things all the time. You're always doing stuff, always. You just, you keep busy. Because it's very painful what this is. This is not easy. So, yeah. And you deal with like high profile stuff. High disclosure kind of stuff, I think. So, yeah, you may work with victims. You may work with, I think you work with really vulnerable people, basically. And you understand you understand like where you can't completely, it's been a process obviously of you being able to understand where you have to stop helping people, but then there's still something that you need to like recognize here, because you keep busy. There's a very, very busy energy here. You're very, very, I wouldn't be surprised if you're quite young, but then you do quite a lot, or people are surprised, like maybe for your age, that you do what you do, or that you're in the position that you're in. I just dropped a card. So we've got the peacock, so the Empress energy here. You absolutely manifest yourself, but then this peacock is about you walking through that door. So are you able to walk through that door? Are you able to see those kind of, the other side? I don't know, there's something that's telling me that you know how to manifest it, but there's just something. Let's see what the other cards have to say. The Shore, so that's the Tower. The Romantic. Wow, these are very similar cards to pile. Did I shuffle? To pile 2. The Three of Trees. Oh my god. Maybe I didn't shuffle. I don't know. These are exactly the same cards. They got these cards, but I think they got the peacock in a different order. Let me just make sure that this is shuffled. The Ten of Birds, which is the Ten of Swords. And then let's have a look. The Wanderer. That's I think that's the Page of, the Page of Wands reversed. And then you have the Six of Wands. Yeah, there's a bit of a black hole that's going on here, pile 3. A bit of a black hole of this sense of service that's going on that you're trying to fill up. So the shadow side of your superpower, even though you are like amazing at helping others, and you seem to be like this fighter for justice, which is amazing. Remember, it's like Batman, right? So like if we look at Batman, Bruce Wayne, he was like that idea of a character that is so haunted by his own past that he has to live in Gotham. I'm going by the last Batman, all right? So just be aware of that. So the Robert Pattinson one. So it's that idea of like him kind of being in that state where he feels like he has to give a service to Gotham. And it's who he is. That's what he has to do. You know, there's no way that he can like walk away from that. He has to do it. So, but it is a bit like a hole that he's constantly trying to fill. So there's a little bit of that going on here. So there's space here for spiritual growth and development in the respective, particularly to do with this superpower, which is interesting. Very different to all of the other piles. Like the other piles, there was them kind of realizing it, but here it's almost like the superpower is a pathway to you developing even deeper, because it seems like you already are the superhero. I think that's what it is. You already are that kind of like strong superhero archetype, but now how do you evolve through that? You know, how do you work through that? And that's probably why that full moon is reversed, because it's almost like, you know, you have this full potential, but then something is still not correct. It's not 100%. And with this tower here on this 8 of Cups, it kind of means that no matter what, you're going to have to face the truth at some point about it, and about how, you know, how you fit in this picture. I think, let me just double check that the romantic is the page. I think it is the page. No, the romantic is the knight, so it's the knight. I don't know why I forgot that. It was exactly the same as last time. So it's interesting. You've got the King of Cups and then you've got the Knight of Cups reversed here. So I don't know if there's something to do with men here, or male figures in your life. And about the way that love is interpreted from male figures. Because also there's a management on the emotions. So if you're not able to manage your emotions, do you think that you are in a capacity to be able to receive love? So if you're kept busy, then are you able to, if you're kept busy, then you don't have to think about love. And I'm not saying that you don't think about love. You might go on apps and stuff and whatnot, but then like, is it fulfilling? It's interesting. And if you're with someone, then are you connecting like genuinely to this person, to this other person? But it's more about how you are with yourself, if I'm honest, rather than relationships. This is about you managing your emotions. And I just feel that you might deal with people that just don't have good relationships with men. You may work for like some kind of women's refuge or something like that. I find, possibly. But that's because, I don't know, there's something in your own kind of stuff that's happening here. And you have an ability to be able to help people rebuild their lives. You really do that. You do that really well. From a life that they never thought that they could rebuild. Because you did it. You were able to do that. But there's something very deeply sad, particularly with that devil energy. The devil energy is reversed, so it's like helping people realize they break out the cycle, but almost like when you break out the cycle, it's almost like you're devastated because you were in the cycle for so long, you know? I'm saying that that's what you kind of help people through, but I think this is partly your own trauma as well. So, and then you've got the Wanderer here, which I'm going to double check. It should be the page of Wands. It should be, she says. Yeah, it is. So, Page of Wands reversed. And then the Four of Cups. Then you know what you've got to do, and you're not going ahead for it. You're not going for it. You know that there's some things that you need to heal within yourself, because you probably are triggered by the situations that you see. And the situations that you try to help in. And I don't know, I feel like you like to be in this hurricane so that you can stay there. It's almost comforting that you can be in the position that you are quite like serving other people. Because the minute that you stop doing that, it just kind of makes you remember the pain. Because you've got 6, 7, 8. Interesting. Wow. 24 adds up to 6. 25 adds up to 7. 44 adds up to 8. So 6, 7, 8. So this is a process. And then you've got the tower here, the shore here. I wouldn't be surprised if you're exceptionally independent. Like you don't want anybody's help. You don't want anybody's kind of, help in this situation. So then my advice would is how do you emerge as someone more vulnerable? That'd be interesting. How do you become okay with yourself as somebody who doesn't succeed, who doesn't, who isn't able to get things done? How do you cope with that? Very interesting. Okay. So essentially what we've seen here is your superpower is that you are, you're a superstar. You're like in the respect of like helping people. You really, really help people. You go into places where others fear to tread. You do things and, you push boundaries. You do stuff in the respect of helping other people, but there's something about the why. Something about the why, pile 3. Okay, let's have a look at your angel card first. Wow, look at that. Galgaliel. Wow. And she's like this warrior, this Norse warrior goddess on a chariot. I mean, look at that, right? Look at these two. You're like some insane warrior woman, pile 3. When I say insane, I mean like you're amazing. I don't mean insane as in crazy. I mean like that you're amazing. Let's see what it has to say in here. So power. It's power. Angel to call on at the start of an incredible new area of change. She's like the Norse Valkyrie warrior. She's a Valkyrie. Like she's embodied as a Valkyrie. Your power is from God. And the essence is of love. Do not be afraid to use your power for good. So that's your superpower. What I found is that these cards tell you what your superpower is. And this is the empowered goddess that you are. But I think that you need to do that for yourself. You need to do that for yourself. Okay. So let's have a look at these two guys. So we've got, I honor animals with reverence. Wow. So you may like even, you may like run an animal sanctuary or something like that. Or you may campaign for animals or things like that. But you honor animals for sure. Like here, or animals, the honoring of animals is very, very strong for you. You've got a snake, you've got a cat, and you've also got a hummingbird here. So see what those elements represent to you. Cats, hummingbirds, and snakes. Snakes are wisdom, cats are independence and strength, and hummingbirds are healing and beauty, and also good for knowledge. So check that out and see. Also, I consume only my fair share. You may be like a super like, somebody who makes sure environmentally you're on top of it. You may be an environmental campaigner as well. I just get a real kind of like a warrior, kind of ecological warrior from you vibe. And also just like a general person that really, really strives for the goodness in the world. And campaigns for others to do it as well. So, we do that last. And then we've got these two questions because, as I said to the other piles, with this reading and the question, I thought to myself that because it's your secret superpower, I just thought of like Spider-Man when they say like with great responsibility comes great power. So, and for any of you that have watched the other readings, you'll know that I'll have said that, but it definitely is that thing. So And also, you know, you get asked a question. So it's the questions that come with the power, which I think is the most interesting. So you've got Ursa Major, which is the Great Bear. And it says, are you the hunter or the hunted? Are you the hunter or the hunted? I love that. Very, very interesting considering about the whole idea of campaigning, right? And then we've got Lupus. Interesting. Which is the wolf. What if your past was just a story and your potential was endless? What if your past was just a story and your past, you know, your potential was endless? Wow. Wow, that's amazing. So you've got strong like animal energy here. You've got the wolf, you've got the bear, you've got the hummingbird, the snake, and the cat. So there's something very important for you here. A lot of animal energy here. You've also got birds, you've got vultures, and which are deeply something. I mean, it may be useful for you to look up like some aspects of Egypt as well, if you have any dreams or any connections like that to Egypt. That may be something. You've got the peacock here as well. So you've got vultures, peacock. Yeah, lots of animals. Cat, snake, hummingbird, bear, and wolf. Interesting, pile 3. So you may also like be able to connect with animals as well. That may be, you may even do shamanic work as well, and these may be your power allies. So interesting. Wow, work of art, be the portrait of divine beauty. That is amazing. Just gonna have a look at that for you. I won't read the whole thing. I'll just skim. I'll just read. They do like a beautiful poem right at the beginning of it, so it's really lovely to read that, and then I'll just skim it. So, not being able to fall in love with his own beauty, God created a mirror to reflect his hidden grace. That mirror is the heart. Let the grace of the beloved emanate through you. Attar. Wow, when life becomes a daily repetition of mundane things, weariness seeps in. Physical and mental exhaustion takes over and makes us forget that our whole purpose in life is to have joy. We can break away from the hamster wheel by letting our hearts mirror the beauty that reflects new horizons and landscapes in life. So it guides you here to release familiar routines, to release stagnant situations or challenging relationships that no longer support or empower you. Wow, this is really amazing because, you know, with the other cards, with the other readings, it was really interesting. I had to kind of give them a boost, whereas with you, it feels like I have to redirect. It's a redirection reading, this one. It's almost about you having a different paradigm on your power. Whereas the other two were like more about this is your power and I need to tell you what your power is. But whereas like with you, pile 3, it feels like once I've like, you know what your power is, but now you need to reframe it. You need to go back. You need to go, like there's a sense of retraining your perspective and using other allies that you may have not realized that you needed to use before. So you've got a lot more actually. You've developed in your superpower abilities. So, pile 3, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I definitely did. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. And also do hit the bell icon. And do subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I also do private readings, so you can catch me on my Etsy button, which is in my banner on my page, or in the description box below. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in future readings. Bye.